Oh, brother. Ah! Child, that don't even make no dang sense. Don't marry this girl. This is red flag after red flag. It's not looking good for the boy. Hello, little enzymes. Welcome back to Daisha's Digest. We have 4 stories for today. The topic is going to be setting boundaries and crossing the line. All of the information will be included in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. Husband wanted to re-gift the anniversary gift I bought for him. Which is just the title alone, like, you gotta be kidding me. It says, my 26 female husband, 31 male, is very specific, so getting a gift for him was always a nightmare. We were together for almost 5 years, married for 2. Our second anniversary was a few days ago. I put so much effort in his gift. He is a diehard fan of one football club. He really loves it and buys a lot of merch. I was looking for something he doesn't have and found a 3D puzzle set of that club's stadium. It has 200 pieces and it takes 2 to 3 hours to put it together. It was expensive AF, but I knew he would like it, so I ordered it. I even put my mom's address for delivery in case he was at home when it arrived, so he didn't spoil the surprise. And I was right. He was happy as a child when he saw it. He told me he would put it together with his nephew, 9 male, who also loves that club. Well, the nephew came today and they were playing with it, talking about the club. Then my husband pulled me aside and asked me if he should give it to his nephew because he liked it. I was like, what the F? I told him, do whatever you want, I don't care. But he could see that I was pissed. He didn't re-gift it, but he promised the kid that he would get him the same. But the little guy didn't ask for it. He didn't even tell him that he likes it. After the nephew went home, I told my husband that I put so much effort in his gift when he is a literal nightmare for gifts that I spent so much time to find him something mindful, and I'm really hurt that he even thought about re-gifting it to anyone. He got defensive, told me that he, nephew, is a child and would love to have it and that I'm massively overreacting. Oh gosh. He also thinks I'm emotional because of my pregnancy hormones. Oh brother. I hate when, that is like one of my icks. I hate when men dismiss women's concerns or complaints or grievances or whatever by being like, you must be on your period right now. Oh, you must be emotional because your hormones right now. Nah, bro, like you're literally trying to give away a very expensive gift that I got specifically for you and you're hard to shop for. It's very simple. Like, no, it's not hormones. And I don't know, maybe her delivery could have been like due to hormones. I don't know, but that is I hate when they do that. She said, I'm 10 weeks pregnant with our second child. I don't think I'm overreacting because my feelings are really hurt and his actions are crappy. I told him he could offer to buy him another one in the first place. Am I really overreacting or is this a crappy thing to even think about? No, I personally don't think that she's overreacting. If I went out of my way to really think about and oftentimes I do because I'm a Taurus and I feel like that's just what we do. Like we like to give really thoughtful and meaningful gifts that we know that the person will like and they'll actually use. I'm going out of my way, spending my hard-earned coins, and then just in the blink of a moment, you like, oh, I think I should give this to someone else. No, I would be very annoyed. And I do think though, whenever he pulled her aside and asked if he should give it to the nephew and she was like, do whatever you want, I don't care. I wouldn't have said that. Say what you mean and mean what you say. If you don't want him to give it away, say that. Don't just say, do whatever you want, I don't care. Like, communicate. Because then if he did it, then you're going to be mad. So the comments, that's so ungrateful and thoughtless. I'd be pissed, but at least he asked you first instead of just gifting it. That demonstrates a bit of common sense. It might help in the future to have a discussion about what gifting should be like going forward, given that he's already difficult and didn't seem to appreciate your effort even when you got it right. Does he care about gifts? It might be easier to compromise on giving him only money or food. Opie responded, well, it makes a situation kind of better, but I'm still pissed. He likes gifts, but he's kind of difficult. Like he only wears a certain brand of clothes, certain perfumes, certain types of books, etc. So the solution would be to always give him the same stuff, which I don't like. He doesn't want to take money from me, and when I ask him to try something in the store, he doesn't feel like it. He really liked this one, so I'm even more pissed that he wanted to give it away. That doesn't even make sense either. If you really liked it, why are you trying to give it away? Maybe he didn't really like it. Another comment, does he want gifts? Does he expect them? I'm really hard to buy for, so my wife knows I don't expect gifts. Go make me a pie or something that I'll love. No need to put effort into buying me something that I may or may not want anyway. OP responded, well, a few months ago, he got a hoodie from his sister. I know he loved it and it fits him like a glove. Later, he told me not to wash it because he might re-gift it to someone else. What? What is wrong with this guy? Is he lying to these people and saying that he actually likes these things when he doesn't? And why would you tell somebody you're gonna re-gift something? I feel like if I'm gonna re-gift it, I don't know, he's odd. Then OP continues with her response. I was like, why would you do it if you like it? Also, he is a big and tall guy. He doesn't have any friend or family member his size. So like, who are you even going to gift it to? He wears it now and said he would regret it if he gave it to someone else. Someone else says, this tells me a lot. First of all, this is a really, really long comment. They said, this tells me a lot. First of all, it's obvious you each have a different emotional circuitry around gift giving, which is normal. I grew up in a family that loved through materialism and put our heart and soul into gifts. We also got our sense of worthiness, love, and appreciation from the recipient's reaction. I have felt the devastation of someone re-gifting something I got them, and it's a horrible feeling for sure. Explore your own emotions and expectations around gifts and keep communicating how you feel to him, and he needs to listen and understand how hurtful it is to you. At the same time, he has his own issues. My spouse came from a poorer culture where most consumer goods simply weren't available. Christmas was an orange and handmade socks, and you liked it. Love was about providing for people and helping each other survive. Cue the marriage drama when they weren't as emotive and dramatic and excited about the gifts I put a lot of thought into, and I received boring, practical gifts that were on sale and reflected their interests and idea of good provision, not mine. After over a decade, we both have a deeper introspection, therapy, and better communication, and gifts have no pressure whatsoever. We often don't even give them anymore. But this was a huge shift from my culture of origin, and I had to work through my own feelings of not being appreciated or loved just because we had different expectations. There may be a clue in the fact that he would give away something practical, like a sweatshirt that he loved that fit him perfectly. If he's quick to regift, he may have underlying feelings of unworthiness. Some people are raised that it is better to give than receive and feel unworthy or selfish if they receive something beyond their habitual class. Subconsciously, they often sabotage efforts that make them feel like they're on the receiving end of, quote, charity. He may also have some hangups around materialism or having too much stuff. Maybe deep down he feels like it's a child's toy and doesn't want to be seen as a child, but as a good adult and father figure, the giver of toys, not the receiver. Same with your mom or sister still buying you clothes when you're a grown man. The best thing is for each of you to reflect on your feelings, convictions, and habits around giving and receiving and their origins, and then share with each other how to define your relationship with gifts on your own terms. Throw out all you learned from your families and friends and decide how you two specifically want to handle holidays in your relationship. And of course, explore deeper personal issues for which gifts are just the tip of the iceberg. You're young, those deep issues can end up solving a ton of problems if dealt with at the root. I mean, that was a pretty good, comprehensive comment. It was a bit long, but yes, I feel like that was some good advice and it made a lot of sense. So update one day later. First of all, I want to thank you all for constructive comments. It helped me get a new perspective. Also, for the guys who called me weird and childish for feeling disrespected, yeah, your comments are crappy. Now about the update. We talked this morning calmly. I told him how hurt I was when he dismissed my feelings and blamed my pregnancy hormones for them. I explained how I feel when he does that, and I feel unappreciated and that he doesn't care about my feelings while I know he does. He apologized, and I know it was genuine. He also admitted that his comment about my hormones was rude and unnecessary. He promised that he would be more considerate about my feelings. I apologized for telling him that he's a nightmare and for being passive aggressive. He told me it's okay and he wasn't mad for that. About the gift. Last night, he put it together and almost got late to his night shift. He told me he really loves it and didn't actually want to regift it. Then he told me a bit about his upbringing. Now, this is where it's starting to sound a little fake because y'all been together almost, before you were married, y'all were together almost 5 years, and then now you've been married for 2. That's 7 years total. And this has never come up. Issues about his upbringing and his feelings about being gifted things and or regifting things. I feel like that would come out in the dating phase. I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. But anyways, she said his mother often regifted things they were gifted, even those he actually liked, and he hated it. They were not poor, but her policy was, why buy someone's gift when you can regift something that you got? She gave away his stuff until he moved out. Now he feels guilty when he keeps something, even when he likes it, and he now knows why that's happening. Now I remember the time when his mom stayed with us to help while I was postpartum. She was actually helpful, but she also tried to give away some of our stuff to others, and I was really pissed. Like, what gives you the right to give away my stuff? I grew up poor, but my parents never pulled this crap. When we liked something, we kept it. You know those fancy chocolate boxes that are passed around? Well, we ended up eating them. Meanwhile, we don't give gifts to my mother-in-law anymore because we know she's going to regift them, so we just give her money. I told my husband that we will go shopping for his birthday and he will choose his own gift just to make sure it's something he likes and will actually use. Stadium is now displayed with his other football stuff. Okay, well, it seemed to have gotten resolved, but I just feel like that issue should have came up way sooner. I don't know, maybe it just never came up in conversation, but it seems very unlikely if you're with someone for 7 years that the issue of upbringing and the mom regifting the things that she would gift, that he would get as gifts, that never came up. Maybe it's just me. Let's go to the next story. It says, am I the a-hole for refusing to let my future brother-in-law borrow my grandfather's vintage watch for his wedding, even though it's said to bring good luck? I, 30 male, am engaged to Sarah, 29 female, and our wedding is in 10 months. I have my grandfather's vintage watch, which he wore on his own wedding day. It's a family tradition that the firstborn son wears it on his wedding day for good luck. Since my dad passed away when I was young, the watch came to me, and I've always planned to wear it when I got married. My future brother-in-law, Ben, 28 male, is Sarah's younger brother, and he's getting married in 4 months. He knows about the watch and its significance. Recently, he asked if he could borrow it for his wedding, arguing that since his wedding is first, he should be the one to have the good luck. I told him no because I want to honor the family tradition and wear it myself. Ben was upset and told Sarah that I'm being selfish. Sarah is caught in the middle. She understands my attachment to the watch, but also feels for her brother. Now her parents are saying I should let Ben wear it first as it's just a watch and traditions can be flexible. I really value this tradition and the memory of my grandfather. Am I being unreasonable by refusing to let Ben borrow the watch? No. How is this even a question? Ben ain't even part of the family yet. Legally, he's not. You haven't married his sister yet, so he's not even your brother-in-law. He's just a brother of your fiance at this point. The tradition is that the firstborn wears the watch. He not even in the bloodline at all. How would that make sense for him to get the watch? So you want me to break tradition just for you? No, what? Somebody said not the a-hole, not Ben's family, not Ben's watch, not Ben's luck. you have a fiance problem. She is only caught in the middle because she is not making the very reasonable and simple statement to her own family that they are out of line, and that is a hard no. Facts. Literally, like, it's so simple. Someone responded, I can't say it any better than this. Ben has some serious audacity. Someone else, I hope that watch is in a safe place. With Ben's entitled attitude, the backing of his parents, and Sarah's lack of a spine, I wouldn't be the least surprised if it disappears. Someone else, ask them if it's just a watch, why is it so important to Ben to wear it? You're not the a-hole and you have many years of fighting your in-laws ahead of you. I'm also a little worried that Sarah isn't 100% on your side. OP responded, thanks for the support and the great point. You're right. If it's just a watch to Ben, why is he so set on wearing it? I'm definitely going to ask him that. I'm also a bit concerned Sarah isn't fully backing me, so I'm planning to talk to her soon to make sure she's on my side and we set clear boundaries with her family. Appreciate the heads up about future in-law issues. Child, that don't even make no dang sense. Update 1 day later. Hey everyone, thanks for the comments on my post. They really got me thinking. I talked to Sarah last night after work about Ben wanting my grandfather's watch, and it turned into a massive fight. We figured out things eventually, but it was a rough one. Here's what happened. I started by telling Sarah there's no way Ben's getting the watch. It's my grandfather's, worn on his wedding day, and the tradition is that the firstborn son wears it for good luck. Since my dad passed away when I was young, it's mine, and I've always planned to wear it at our wedding in 10 months. I hit her with what some of you suggested. If it's just a watch to Ben, why is he so desperate to wear it for his wedding in 4 months? She got heated, saying Ben's freaking out about his wedding and thinks the good luck will make it perfect. Oh, okay. So Ben got other fish to fry, okay? The watch is not the issue. You probably don't need to be getting married to that girl, Ben. That's what the real issue is. And you think that some watch will magically make everything smooth and perfect. No. You need to address the issues that you actually have in real life. OP continues, I called that straight up entitled. Ben's got no claim to my family's heirloom and I'm not handing it over. Then I went in on her for not having my back, like a lot of you pointed out. I said she's only, quote, caught in the middle because she won't tell Ben and her parents to back off. Sarah lost it, shouting that I'm forcing her to pick sides, and her parents are blowing up her phone, saying I'm being a jerk for clinging to a relic. That set me off. What? It baffles me that these people are so mad that OP is, quote, clinging to a relic. On the same hand, they're so intent on wanting to acquire this, quote, relic. Like, it really makes absolutely no sense. Like, it's really, what? Pick a side. Either you think the watch is actually really important and you want to use it and you can understand why OP also thinks it's important, or you don't think the watch is important and you don't care to use it and you accept it that, like, come on now. Oh, Jesus. OP said, I yelled that it's not a relic. It's all I have left of my dad and grandfather. And if she can't see that, maybe she doesn't care about me. She snapped back that I'm fixated on a stupid tradition and making her family feel like garbage. I told her if we're getting married, she needs to act like my fiance, not Ben's defender. It got nastier. I said I will lock the watch in a safe because I don't trust her family not to, quote, misplace it, and she flipped, screaming that I'm calling them thieves. I shouted that I wouldn't have to if she'd just shut this down from the start. She started crying, saying I'm making her feel like a horrible fiance, and I wasn't calm. I snapped that she's letting me down by siding with Ben. She grabbed her bag, said she's done with me for now, and stormed out to her friend's place. I was furious, thinking this might be more than just a watch. Late last night, Sarah called, still upset, but calmer. She said she doesn't want this to ruin us. I admitted I got too worked up, but I stood by needing her support. She broke down, saying she gets how much the watch means and feels awful for calling it a relic. She promised to tell Ben and her parents it's a hard no and will face them together this weekend. She's coming home today, and we agreed to work on talking without blowing up, especially with her family causing trouble. To keep things cool, we're considering getting Ben a nice watch as a wedding gift so he's got something without touching mine. I just don't understand what's going, like, I feel like something else is going on here that OP doesn't know about, because it just doesn't make any sense to me why they are so hung up on this dang watch. It's literally some, according to them, silly tradition. So why do they want it so badly? Somebody said, I would still hide that watch. She still doesn't get it. OP responded, it's going in the bank safe. Someone else, is this someone you want to marry? There is literally no reason for Ben to wear the watch. Even if it wasn't significant, he doesn't have the right to borrow anything of yours. OP responded, she started crying, saying I'm making her feel like a horrible fiance. Someone responded, ma'am, there's a reason for that. Another person, and it isn't just Ben feeling entitled to the watch. It's his parents going into full attack mode to make OP hand over the watch to Ben. These are the in-laws he's choosing. That's a fact. They said, OP, I think you need to put off your wedding for at least a year to make sure your fiance understands that her parents and brother will destroy your relationship if allowed. I wouldn't buy her brother a watch. That will just teach him to demand things until you cave and buy him something equivalent. Do not ever reward entitled greed. Never. You will regret starting that type of expectation. What if he wants your car? Will you help him buy his own? What if your house is nicer? Will you help him buy a more expensive one? You and your fiance need some serious counseling about protecting your relationship from your families of origin, which will most likely be about her needing to set boundaries with her family. She should be the one shutting down both her brother and her parents. I would absolutely not buy him a watch. That would just reward the greedy entitlement. Someone else commented, so she went to her friend for support. Her friend told her she's a freaking idiot, and now she's trying to save face. Someone else, do not get married until you two go to counseling and work on how to fight. This marriage is not going to be happy or successful. Neither of you know how to fight. OP responded, I will take this suggestion. Ciao. Update a few hours later. Wedding gift for brother-in-law, reverso or tank? I plan to get my brother-in-law a wedding gift for his wedding in a few months. Was thinking either the JLC reverso or the Cartier tank. What do you guys think? I never really wear dress watches, so don't know much about the wearing experience of either, or do you suggest something else? He has a couple links, but I don't like clicking links, so I'm gonna put it in Google. This is the reverso on screen. The watch face is kind of like rectangular, and it looks like you can customize the band so it can be like black leather or navy leather or brown leather or whatever. And does it open up? Oh, that's a duo face. Okay, and then the other one, Cartier tank. Oh, it looks pretty much very similar to the reverso, but it's a rectangular shape, but the edges are a little bit rounded, and the like Roman numerals on the watch face are kind of like, I don't know how you would explain, like splayed out towards the edges. I don't know how you would explain what it looks like for anyone that's not watching, but if you are, you can see it on the screen. That's generous because this tank watch is $3,300. And the reverso, how much is that? I see one reverso. The cheapest reverso I'm seeing on here is $8,900. I'm not getting anybody a wedding gift that costs that much. You can get this toaster or this blender or this food processor or this coffee maker for $200 or less. A Cartier watch? No, nah. So update 2 days later. Hey everyone, thanks for the support on my post about the watch mess. People wanted an update, it seems. Here's what went down this weekend when Sarah and I talked to Ben and her parents. On Sunday, we sat down at her parents' place for brunch. Ben brought up the watch, saying it'd be a classy touch for his big day. I'd been thinking a lot about why he wants it. He's well off, he's got a killer watch collection, all flashy, modern stuff, not vintage like my grandfather's. It doesn't fit him, So I'm guessing it's his way of flexing control, like he's gotta one up me before his wedding. So he's into watches already. I don't know if he's already into watches and has a nice watch collection and he's trying to get your watch. I would be worried that I would never see that watch again. Or he might know like the true value of the watch. And yeah, that's a huge red flag. OP said, I stood my ground. It's my family's tradition tied to my dad and grandfather, who are both gone. It's all I've got left of them, and it's for my wedding. Sarah didn't hesitate and backed me, saying if Ben kept pushing, we'd draw a line. Things got heated. Ben got defensive, saying I was making a fuss over, quote, just a watch, and ignoring family harmony. He rolled his eyes when I mentioned my dad, which pissed me off. His fiance finally left brunch, I think, fed up with Ben. That seemed to knock some sense into him. He stepped out, they talked, and both came back and apologized. Long story short, we're doing a golf trip in 2 weeks to hash things out. I might be naive, but I'm optimistic. Why do you need a golf trip to hash things out? What? How is a golf trip going to help you hash things out? You can't sit there and talk? And if everything got heated and he apologized, shouldn't that be the end of it? Like, what else is there to discuss? Maybe these people are too rich for me because I don't understand their logic. OP continues, Sarah's parents didn't say much, but her mom mentioned helping with our wedding in 10 months, like I owed them something. That hit wrong, especially since we're signing a prenup to protect their family's assets. I'm no slouch, though. I've made something of myself. Sarah was there through my darkest days, addiction, hitting rock bottom, falling apart. Her parents thought she could do better, kept pushing their familial piety thing, which probably made her feel stuck in the middle early on. Some of you said I should dump Sarah, but that's not right. We've been together for years and she's been my rock through that mess. I've got screw-ups she's let slide, so I'm not going to judge her over one rough patch. We're starting counseling soon, something we both want to keep us solid. We decided not to get Ben a watch. A lot of you pointed out a wedding gift should be for both the bride and groom, and I wasn't thinking straight before. We're leaning towards a honeymoon contribution instead. I'm starting to see clearer. Thank you everyone for the suggestions and support. I know I'm going against the main suggestion to dump Sarah, but that's not an option at this point. Not without me giving it my all, because I know she's willing to do the same. This just sounds really chaotic for no reason. And I had a feeling they had some type of money. And after he said they made him sign a prenup to protect the family assets, this is sounding like rich people problems for real. Like, this sounds like, I feel like once you get to a certain level of wealth, or if you've been like rich your whole life, sometimes you just make stuff up just to feel something. It's like, I feel like they just like cause oppression on themselves just so they have something to fight for. Cause what is this? This don't even make sense. Oh my gosh. Update 4 days later. My fiance, 26 female, I am 28 male, keeps lending money to her family without telling me, and it's causing tension. How can I address this? Now, I thought they had money, so now they asking for money from the daughter? Now, what the hell? He said, my fiance, 26 female, and I, 28 male, are getting married in a few months. But lately, I've been feeling uneasy about her habit of lending money to her family without discussing it with me first. Last year, she lent her brother $500 from my account without asking, and recently she used my credit card to pay $1,500 for her parents' car repair. Oh, they ain't got it like that. They do not have it. Don't marry her. Don't marry her. Don't marry her. She's already using your money and your credit card without asking? In what situation would that be? Like, I can understand if they were married, it's like the wife, she needs to buy groceries, whatever. I feel like you shouldn't have to ask, like, oh, can I buy groceries? You know, like, but she's using your money and your credit card to pay for her family's expenses, to send her family money without even saying anything. Don't marry this girl. Don't marry this girl. He didn't say how long they've been together. Don't marry this girl. This is red flag after red flag. He said each time she apologizes and promises to pay me back, but I feel like this is such a breach of trust. We've always agreed to discuss major financial decisions together, especially since we're about to get married. However, she seems to think that since we're family now, helping each other financially is normal, even without prior discussion. I understand that family is important, but I believe in transparency and mutual agreement when it comes to money, especially large sums. How can I approach this conversation with her without making her feel like I'm attacking her family? I want us to be on the same page financially before we tie the knot. Don't tie the knot. I mean, that's like you just. I am. This whole story has me feeling crazy. I'm flabbergasted. Somebody said, "What a huge red flag. Been married for more than 10 years. Would not imagine my wife doing something remotely similar without my consent. She's abusing your trust and your wallet. You both cannot allow your family problems to become your own problems." I wouldn't trust her at all. She would be the type of person to take out a life insurance policy on OP and then all of a sudden he end up missing mysteriously. Like, I don't know. Like, this is crazy to me. Dang, they deleted their account and I cannot see. There's nothing else. Oh wait. Dang, looks like they deleted all their posts. They still have their account, but they deleted all of their posts and comments. It's not looking good for the boy. It's not looking good whatsoever. OP, don't marry this girl. Y'all aren't even married and she's spending your money. Like, she doesn't even, what if you had budgeted that for something else? What if she can't pay it? Now she gonna run you into debt. Where's her money? Why is she dipping into your money? I just have so many questions. Don't marry her, bruh. That's, Next story. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend for suggesting an open relationship and not letting her explain? My girlfriend of about 5 years recently suggested an open relationship. I know what it is, but just in case I misheard, I asked her to elaborate, and yeah, pretty much what you would think. She wanted us to be able to be intimate with others. I took a deep breath and said that we were done. I've seen stories about open relationships and know that there's no way in hell I'd ever want one. She tried to take it back, but I told her that the fact she had the nerve to even ask is a deal breaker. FYI, we had never done anything with another person, and I have never suggested any of it, so there's no way I ever gave her any hints. This is something I'd want. I think he meant to say this is not something I'd want. He said, I didn't even listen to her and just ignored her as she kept trying to explain and apologize. I just packed some stuff and went to stay with my parents. She's been trying to call me, but honestly, I feel like asking for an open relationship is basically asking for permission to cheat. I mean, for me, it seemed a little dramatic to like immediately break up and leave. I probably would have wanted to hear her out and maybe try to hear why she feels that that is the option she wants to go with. Maybe even she still would have led to a breakup. I don't know, but I guess OP said they not playing no games. It's real strict over there, okay? Somebody said that's how my first marriage ended. My now ex-wife started suggesting an open relationship, but said she had nobody in mind. She just wanted the option hypothetically. However, she'd been hanging out with the one single guy in our local friend group and hid it from me, so I immediately knew what was happening. She denied it completely. We mutually agreed to end things, and she immediately began dating him officially. 6 months later, she wanted to vent about him to me, and I said I didn't want to hear it. She made her bed. I was out of there. Much happier afterwards. It was a blessing in disguise, and I met my new wife a couple of years later, and we've been together over 10 years. Now, I will say, the OP's girlfriend asking for an open relationship, to me, that is a red flag. It does seem like she already probably has somebody in mind, or already probably has thought about cheating but don't want to cheat, so she's trying to figure out a way around it. For me, if you want to have an open relationship, that's fine, do you. But for me, it's always a red flag when someone who is in a monogamous relationship, who has never, ever, ever been in an open relationship or any type of poly relationship whatsoever, all of a sudden wants to try it. That was never discussed from the beginning or anything like that. That's a red flag. Now, if you come into the relationship saying like, oh yeah, I'm open to that. I've done it before. I might be open to it in the future. Okay. But you all of a sudden, out of the blue, you want to try it? Come on now. Red flag. Somebody said, good for you. I applaud your self-respect for saying true to your values. Another comment, just wait. After she realizes you're not coming back, you'll see who she wanted to cheat with pop up in her socials. Damn. And then the last comment, yeah, when someone who has never expressed any interest in an open relationship suddenly wants one, at best, there's someone waiting in the wings, and at worst, they've already cheated and want to make it acceptable. Exactly. Update 24 days later. So I had to see her again at our old place since a lot of my stuff was there. She did try to convince me again that she didn't mean it and that she didn't need an open relationship. Honestly, reading the comments from my last post kind of helped me prepare for this. I had an idea as to what to expect. I told her some things you just can't take back. Some questions just can't be unheard. She did try to convince me again, but honestly, I ignored her as best as I could. I just don't feel safe with her anymore. I don't feel comfortable staying with someone who even wants to explore this. The idea that she wanted to go out and be intimate with others, come back, and act like nothing happened genuinely makes my stomach drop. Like she was 100% okay with that. I did some self-reflection and asked, would I ever ask her something like that? And no, I really wouldn't. I feel like some things just change the way you see people. I mean, if I told her I want her to get cosmetic surgery, she'd be hurt. I know she would. It's something fundamental in you, like you are not good enough for your partner, and they actively want to change you or your relationship. I'm sad this happened, but I don't regret it. I mean, that makes sense. I see the perspective. That does make sense. Somebody said, OP was right to trust his gut. Once that door gets opened, it changes everything. Even if they try to walk it back, that kind of suggestion doesn't just come out of nowhere. And OP deserves someone who's all in without second thoughts. He didn't owe her another conversation after that, and honestly, walking away was the most respectful thing he could have done for himself. Facts. Then the last story, am I the a-hole for telling my dad I don't want him to marry his girlfriend? Honestly, this is embarrassing, so I'm using a throwaway. My parents, both 46, got divorced 6 years ago. My mom remarried 3 years ago, and my dad has had a few girlfriends. His current girlfriend is the only one he has ever brought around. My mom has met her and likes her, and my sister idolizes her. She's nice, and I don't dislike her. The actual problem is she's 27, exactly 10 years older than me. To me, it's so weird. I don't understand why my dad wants to date someone so much younger than him. When he asked my sister and I if we were okay with him asking her to marry him, my sister was excited. I wasn't. I told him I wasn't comfortable with the age gap and thought she was just a sugar baby. Dad explained she has her own career but said okay. Since that conversation, my dad has been really sad and the atmosphere in his house has changed. His girlfriend hasn't been by as frequently either. I feel kind of bad because I want my dad to be happy. Am I the a-hole? Girl, you gotta let it go. I mean, your dad is 46. Regardless if you agree or not, he's a grown man. It might be kind of weird and creepy, yeah. They're almost 20 years age difference. That's a pretty large gap, yeah. At the end of the day, it's his decision. If she is in fact a sugar baby, that's something he's gonna have to learn through experience. And or he might be complicit. He might know that she's a sugar baby and he just don't care. But you gotta give it up to God. Cause what? What if he does in fact not marry her and or break up with her. You'll be happy. They'll be miserable. And then what? I mean, I don't know, man. Like, you got to let him make his own mistakes. He's a big boy. He's 46 years old. You just got to let him make his own. If in fact it is a mistake, you just have to let him make his own mistake. As I'm sure you will probably have many mistakes in your life too. Someone said, how long have they been dating? You said she seems nice enough and the only real concern you have is the age gap. While that's a valid concern, age gap relationships can be normal, healthy relationships. Talk to your dad and see if perhaps you could try to get to know her better before any permanent decisions are made. Opie responded, my sister and I met her around New Year's, but I think they were dating for about 13 months before that. So the update, I don't know how much longer later, whatever. Says, so my original post blew up and managed to find its way to both my dad and his girlfriend. Her name is Jenny. Jenny thought it was really funny, while my dad was mortified. Some of the comments were really mean towards my dad, which made me a little sad. He's a great dad and trying his best. As a whole, the comment section had me thinking about my father's love life too much, and I know now not to air my parents' business on the internet. To clear up some confusion, my dad was not asking for permission. He was simply asking how my sister and I would feel about him remarrying. As for the actual update, my dad sat me down and explained he wasn't upset over me or what I said. He was upset that he didn't know I was uncomfortable sooner. He told me that him and Jenny met at a conference and that they both thought the other was lying about their age. Jenny thought dad was younger and dad thought Jenny was older because of how high up in her career she is. It was nice to hear that dad wasn't intentionally going for women in their 20s and that Jenny was the first girl he dated that young. Jenny took me out solo for matcha the other day too. She said she never wanted to be a mom and doesn't want kids. She said that she liked that dad already was a dad to older kids and didn't want more, and that's why she kept dating him. She said she doesn't want me to think of her as a stepmom, just a cool adult. I apologized for calling her a gold digger, and she said it wasn't a problem. Apparently, she could see why I would have that thought and isn't upset. Jenny wants the internet to know that she's about to turn 28 in a few days. Anyway, dad's not really upset with me. I still like Jenny. Everything has been cleared up and I'm not really uncomfortable anymore. Thanks, Reddit. Look, seemed to work out. It seemed to work out. That's all I can say. That's the last main read for the video. Oh, I keep looking at my laptop, but I forget I have my camera. That's the last main read of the video today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be going to the Palate Cleanser. So I saw this on Instagram. It's just a video of a guy who got a piece of chocolate. Let me pause it. And the text on screen says, POV, your brother gets to go to the chocolate factory. I hope that you would know the story of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Everyone gets, a piece of chocolate and they're looking for the golden ticket in the piece of chocolate so that they're able to go to the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. They're looking for the golden ticket so that they can be able to get admission into the Chocolate Factory. I'm gonna go rewatch that movie. But yeah, I saw this video on Instagram.
For the turtles.
He spent his last,
So my last
Dogecoin on it.
No, my last rubies. Here we go. I'm so scared.
Please. Wait, where's your hand on?
You ripped it! You broke it!
You're literally ripping it right now.
Please God.
Move your hand.
It's gold.
Move your hand.
It's
blocking
gold.
the camera.
A golden ticket. He's gonna meet
Show him.
Are you serious? I go.
What does it mean?
Oh my God.
Nothing?
No! Present this ticket at the factory gates at 10 o'clock in the morning on the first day of October, and do not be late. You may bring with you one member of your own family and only...
Anyway, I thought that was cute. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.